Well, welcome back, everybody, inside American Airlines Center, as this is the final meeting between the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars. The starting goaltenders. Last time Ilya Bryzgalov was here, he gave up a goal to Ryan Garbutt, then got run over by Garbutt and had to leave the game in the second. Bryzgalov looks for career win number 14 against Dallas. And at the other end, 30-year-old Kari Lehtinen shut out the Oilers in Edmonton, then lost in a shootout here in Dallas. He has not won a game since New Year's Eve. The Dallas Stars mired in a 6-game losing streak that was extended on Sunday against the Islanders here at the American Airlines Center. They lost that game by the score of 4-2. The Oilers dropped a 5-3 decision on Sunday in Chicago. Here's Erik Cole, a centering pass, picked up by Daley, side of the net, and Erik Cole scores. 14 seconds into the contest, and the ex-Oiler makes it 1-0.
Well, that look kind of says it all by Dallas Eakins, the head coach of Edmonton. And right out of the gates, you're going to see Justin Schultz jump right up here in a pinch. An aggressive forecheck here by Sam Gagner. Look at Justin Schultz up past the red line. And as a result, a 2-on-1 comes back the other way as nobody's really picked up. And just a little bit of a bumble there as Nugent Hopkins gets knocked down. For Cole, he does a little spinorama. And what a pass by Daley, who gets right up in the rush and finds Cole with an open net.
Erik Cole didn't have a goal in his last 3 games coming into this one. He's now got 12 on the season. And the Dallas Stars jump out real early in this hockey game. Trevor Daley picks up the assists. Daley's got 5 on the season. He didn't have an assist in his last 8. And you knew the Stars were going to come out fast. Here's Hall back the other way. Taylor Hall centering pass for Gagner. Couldn't knock that one out of the air. Nugent Hopkins back to the point. Long shot by Petrie goes wide. It's put out in front, and Jamie Benn has got it. Benn starts the rush. What a start to this hockey game. Sam Gagner dumps it in the opposite corner. Benn gets the other helper on that goal. That comes just 14 seconds into the game, and that was one of the things that Coach Dallas Eakins talked about before the game. He said you got to get on a team that is struggling. You got to score first. Dallas is 12-8-3 when they get the first goal in a hockey game.
Yeah, and for the Edmonton Oilers right now, they can take a little comfort in the fact that on this six-game losing streak by the Dallas Stars, they have had the lead in 4 of those 6 games, given and a couple 2-goal leads that they've given up, including the last game where they gave a 2-1 lead up and lost the game in the third period. The last 4-14 against the New York Islanders. So, although they have scored first here tonight, they've struggled to maintain that league. And for Edmonton, they'll know that and try and get themselves into this game here.
The Oilers have seen a Dallas team that has given up 22 goals during that 6-game losing streak. The first 3 games of that losing streak, they gave up 18 goals. Schultz and Ference on the blue line. This is Justin Schultz trying to keep it in. Schultz with 4 points in his last 4 games. Ales Hemsky broke a long goalless drought in that game against Chicago. He had gone 16 games without lighting the lamp before he did that against the Hawks. They get his 7th goal of the year. Ference will give it to Hemsky, who's just going to dump that puck in and get a line change in, and it will be the 4th line out there now. Gazdic with Smith and Jones. Gazdic at the blue line, checked by another ex-Oiler in the form of Sean Horkoff, who is playing the wing on this line. Rich Beverly's in the middle, along with the Russian Nichushkin. He has the puck right now behind the net. Nichushkin going to the Olympics as an 18-year-old for the Russians. Back to the point it comes. There's Horkoff letting it go through traffic. Bryzgalov looks for it. It's right on the line. No goal. And it slipped through the pads of Ilya Bryzgalov. It did not cross the line. And now behind the play, Ryan Jones in a bout with Trevor Dillon, with Brendan Dillon and Ryan Jones. And Dillon's a big customer.
Boy, they're just chucking him here. Two guys that don't fight a whole lot. And for Jones, just comes out swinging out of the gates against the bigger guy.
Brendan Dillon, 6'3", 225 pounds, but Ryan Jones held his own against the bigger guy.
Boy, did he ever, and I like to see this from Ryan Jones. Fired up, comes out, the 4th line banging and crashing, trying to get something started. And for Dillon, as you mentioned, Kevin, a big guy at 6'4" has that long reach. For Jones, he just kept chucking away, and they both got their good shots in. And here's that shot just a little earlier on with traffic. You see it changes direction towards Bryzgalov, and he doesn't know where it is. That's going over the line. And a nice little save there by Jeff Petrie to deny it from crossing, and a 2-0 lead for Dallas. Mark that one down, as it could have trickled over the line, but for Petrie, nice little defensive play. And then right after that, it's a little interaction in the neutral zone between Dillon and Jones, and they just start swinging right out of the gates.
Brendan Dillon, his 4th fight of the season. Ference, he lets a shot go. Lebanon looking for it. They dig away at it, does Hall. Puck is still alive. And now Seguin sends it down the ice. Justin Schultz will go back and get it. 2 shots for the Dallas Stars, 1 for the Oilers. 16:38 to go in the first period. The third and final meeting between these two teams. The last time the Oilers were here was the beginning of December. They won the game 3-2 in a shootout. Ference at the point. To Hall with Nugent Hopkins and Gagne. Here's Schultz down low, backhand, he scores. Justin Schultz ties the game at 1. Justin Schultz, 5 points in his last 5 games, but Louis didn't have a goal in his last 6 until now.
And you know, a little bit of a goat in that first goal as he was the one that steps up. Nobody really fills in for him early in the game. Dallas scores the quick goal. But for Justin Schultz, he has that stealth mode. He can get to an area very quickly. Look at this. He just finds a hole. Nobody picks him up, and he buries it on the backhand side. That's a real confidence booster for Justin Schultz as he finds the seam, gets to the area, not only takes the pass, but goes to the backhand with a beautiful goal to tie this game 1-1.
Oh, Justin Schultz now has 20 points on the season. And his 3rd career goal against Dallas in just his 5th career game. Taylor Hall with a beautiful feed as his 26th assist and 44th point of the year. Roussel behind the net, gets a little help from Garbutt. Garbutt plays it back to the point. Kevin Connauton will keep that puck in. Roussel lets it go. Yakupov on the far side tries to chip it out. Garbutt able to keep that puck in. Bryzgalov stops it behind the net. Anton Belov rips it around the boards. Gets by Eberle. No icing as Kevin Connauton will go back and get it. Hall and Ference get the helpers at 3:40 of the first period. We're tied at 1. David Perron. For Hemsky, drop pass for Gordon. Gordon spins it in behind the net. Jordy Ben gets checked by Hemsky. Ales Hemsky out of the corner. Hemsky plays it back to the point, and unable to keep it in there was Martin Marincin. Marincin paired with Jeff Petrie. Gordon with it now, plays it off the glass and in. Boyd Gordon, 8 goals on the season. Matches a career high for him set a couple of years ago in Phoenix. Louis mentioned off the top of the show, number 27 on pace for 14 goals this season. David Perron, Gordon, and Hemsky putting on the pressure. Hemsky looks for Gordon behind the net. Boyd Gordon off balance. Trevor Daley comes in and gets the puck, and he'll give it to Vern Fiddler. Sends it around the boards for another rookie, Alex Chason. Chason checked by Marincin. Marincin wins that battle, keeps the puck in. The Oilers able to get a line change in as Jordy Ben works it out to center. Luke Gazdic is there to put it right back in. Eberle on that line in the absence of Jones, and Eberle has the puck now. Eberle circling away from Daley, lets a backhand go. That one gets deflected wide. Luke Gazdic from the corner. Gazdic up top for Ference. Ference slaps it, and that one gets deflected high and wide. The Oilers responding after giving up that goal in the first 14 seconds.
And now let's take a look at tonight's starting goalies.
Perfectly preserved uniform came to us via a generous donation from our champion's wife.
Pick your winners today with Pools.
Well, Kevin, we've talked a lot about Martin Marincin in the last few games and how he's really developing and stepped right into the National Hockey League. Watch this pinch and the poise that he has. Protects the puck from another big guy in Chason. And as a result of that keep in right there, the Oilers get another real quality chance and continue the attack in the offensive zone. So a nice play by the youngster to know when and how to step up.
They kept that puck. And the goal by Boyd Gordon, just in case it was given to Marincin. He was the last guy to touch it, but he didn't have possession of it. And that's why the goal was given to Boyd Gordon. 2 goals scored here in Dallas.
Versus Edmonton. Nothing compares to Game 1 against his old team on November 13th. Now, Horcoff was impressed with the way Oiler fans responded to him in Edmonton. He wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but both at Rexall Place and in the city, people were very friendly, including on the taxi ride to the rink. The drivers said that while things didn't always go great, he did appreciate the effort on the part of the former captain, and coming from a cabbie, that seems like a fair assessment.
796 games played in an Oiler uniform for number 10. Ray Whitney, who we talked about off the top of the show from Fort Saskatchewan. It is game 1,300 for him.
Yeah, pretty impressive for Ray Whitney. 21 seasons in the National Hockey League, and playing 1,300. Just showed him up on the big score clock here in Dallas, and that's why Shawn Horcoff was banging the stick. Also an ex-Edmonton Oiler. Didn't play many games, only 9 back in 97, 98 for Whitney, but a nice celebration for him. 1,300, still chugging along at 41 years of age.
381 career goals for Ray Whitney, and 16 of them have come in his career against the Edmonton Oilers. Pepperly in there to take the draw. Rich Pepperly, 5th in the league in faceoffs against Boyd Gordon, and Boyd Gordon is 6th. So keep an eye on that matchup between two of the elite men in the circle. Pepperly, right up the middle for Shawn Horcoff. Here comes Pepperly. Sharp angle shot stopped by Bryzgalov. Late around the boards. Gonchar keeps it in. Gonchar. Nichushkin unable to keep it pinned against Gordon. Benn's got it now. That is Jordy Benn. Fires it in, and that one catches the netting. And it gives us a chance to give away a prize. And we got another winner in our score and win contest. Christine Yeoman of Onaway swiped a free club card on behalf of Safeway and Quaker Crispy Minis or Rice Cakes. You've won a $250 gift card from Visions Electronics.
And for Justin Schultz, the best little stretch for him this season. 8 points in his last 11 games for him, including 2 goals. And nice to see him jump up again and score a goal the way he typically does. Find that seam, and in stealth mode gets open.
All behind the net. He was the guy that got him the puck. Both those guys on the ice right now.
Yeah, one of the huge improvements, I think, in Taylor Hall's game, the way he's finding people with passes now, and not just the shooter. He gets the puck, he gets his head up and finds people.
Jamie Benn, a backhand. Seguin puts it towards the net. Daly at the point. Trevor Daly along the line, throws it into the corner. It comes right to Benn. Benn with a toe drag, ends up behind the net, still has it, plays it back to the point. Goligoski waits. He'll slap it off the end boards, but there is Nugent Hopkins to intercept it. Around the boards for Hall, and Hall sends that puck down the ice.
That's a good wait.
No icing, so that will allow the Oilers to get a change in as Goligoski brings it back up the ice. Goligoski, hard pass intended for Antoine Roussel, but it was offside.
Well, Kevin, we talked a lot about the 6 games the Dallas Stars have lost as of late in a row, and when the big line isn't ticking, the Dallas Stars don't tick, and you can see in the last 6, the big 3 of Seguin, Benn, and Cole. The top line for them right now, only 4 goals between them in the last 6 games played, and obviously 0-6-0 in that stretch. And tonight already on the board, Cole scored his 12th from Jamie Benn. So a good start for them.
But still not where Lindy Ruff would like that, because the Oilers come back 3 minutes and 40 seconds into the game and tie it. Yakupov with Eberle. Yakupov, long shot. That one misses. Here's Arcabello. Arcabello, Eberle, and Yakupov, the second line for the Oilers. Yakupov turns, got Gonchar in his face. Eakin works against Eberle and works that puck out to center. Garbutt centers it. It's picked up by Arcabello. Yakupov to Eberle. He is stopped. Garbutt back the other way for Whitney. Ray Whitney cutting around Marincin. Ray Whitney circles the net, tries the wraparound. It sits right there. He's trying to bank it in. It's got up down. They do get it home. And it's Ryan Garbutt. Garbutt was a menace the last time these teams were in Dallas.
Give him 3 in the last 2 for Garbutt. This is all Ray Whitney, though. Look at this, still has speed at 41 years of age. Almost jams it home himself, but he stays with the battle. Too many guys stand around watching instead of moving the body of Whitney, where this puck is up for grabs, and Bryzgalov is stretched thin, and it's Garbutt that finds his way into the blue paint, just wins the battle. and jams it home for a 2-1 lead.
He had 2 goals in the game on December 1st, one against Ilya Bryzgalov and one against Devan Dubnyk, because Garbutt was the guy that ran into Bryzgalov in the second period and knocked him out of the game. 8:35 the time of the goal. And Garbutt's got 9 on the season. Shot blocked by Perron as Jordy Benn let that go. And Perron gets to the bench slowly. Here's Alex Hemsky. Hemsky trying to center it. Chasen gets it out to center, and Hemsky winds up, comes across the blue line, but it's offside. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by the 2014 Ford Super Duty. It's built Ford tough.
Well, there's no questions for the Edmonton Oilers. They have to have more shots on net, and they have to have that net front presence. And when the presence comes first, there's that tendency to get more pucks to the net. For them tonight, when they're in the offensive zone, get in front of Lettinen. And for the Dallas Stars, it's turnovers. This is a team that's had the lead now in 5 of the last 7 games. They've given up the lead in the last 4 of the last 6 on the 6-game losing streak. They need to find a way to not turn pucks over and manage it a little bit better.
Schultz shot stopped by Peverley. It comes to the side of the net for Gagner. Gagner knocked down by Rich Peverley. Nugent Hopkins plays it back to the point. Schultz over to Ferentz. He'll leave it there for Hall. Turns, puts it behind the net. Gagner on it. Sam Gagner. Back to Hall. Hops over his stick. And it comes to Nichushkin. Valerie Nichushkin working in against Ferentz. And a penalty on the way. And it's going to be an interference call. And Sam Gagner is in the box.
Yeah, just a little bit of a pass that gets away from Taylor Hall here as it bounces off the stick as he's in the high slot. Nice pass by Gagner, and a good job by Gagner to come back. But as he does, he gets a little bit aggressive with the cross check, so he's in a position to get back, be there, and right there, that cross check on Peverley going back. Instead of moving the feet and staying with Peverley, taking him out of the equation, he eliminates him and hopes he sits for 2.
Power play for Dallas has had anything but power in it. They are ranked 30th in the league. They have scored only 6 times at home. That is fewest in the National Hockey League. In fact, in the 2-game series, Louis, between these teams so far, neither team has a power play goal.
Yeah, pretty incredible when you look at the bodies that are on the ice between these two teams that can put up points. And for Lindy Ruff, that's a big part of the offense for the Dallas Stars. And not just that, but the momentum that gets lost when the power play is not clicking. Needs to be a momentum builder.
Benn with a shot, and he scores. The drought is over. Jamie Benn, power play goal. Makes it 3-1.
Well, there it is right there, and it's Jamie Benn. Guess who with the zipper from the left-hand side. He could always shoot the puck coming into the league. He's always been a shooter, and boy, does he ever release this one here. And this is what Lindy Ruff is talking about. When you have a man advantage, you have the lead, you have to make the other team pay, and that's exactly what Dallas does. As the big line goes to work, good puck movement. They spread it out. They find Benn in the high slot, and he just zips her home past Bryzgalov for a 3-1 lead.
They were 0 for 2 in the game against the Islanders on Sunday. They did not generate a shot with their power play. But Jamie Benn now has 3 power play goals on the season and 16 goals on the year. And the Dallas Stars have a 3-1 lead. Tyler Seguin gets his 21st assist of the year. 9:33 left to go in this first period. A power play that was 2 for 19 during their 6-game losing streak breaks out here as Seguin and Goligoski get the helpers at 10:22. Rogers Oilers hockey for the American Airlines Center in Dallas.
Of Edmonton could win $1 million. Shop at Swipe at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet. In the opening, we discussed power plays and what a difference they make for the Edmonton Oilers, and what a difference it makes when it comes to taking on the Dallas Stars. Louis and Kevin, ironically, they did just score in the power play, did the Dallas Stars, but the Oilers hoping to get their man advantage working when taking on Dallas.
They had only 1 chance on the power play in the game against Chicago on Sunday. Connaughton fires a shot high. Kevin Connaughton, and Alberta connection as well, Louis.
Yeah, Edmonton native, talked to him this morning, grew up watching the Oilers. His first time tonight to play against his hometown team, and was pretty excited about that. I'm sure there's going to be a few texts out heading his way now that he has an assist in this game.
His 5th assist of the year, as Bryzgalov has Antoine Roussel all over him, and he manages to get that puck and hold on to it.
And right now the Dallas Stars all over Edmonton, and only 2 shots on net for the Oilers so far in this first period. And again, a lot of traffic in front of Bryzgalov. You see Antoine Roussel heading to the blue paint, funneling towards the net. Little contact on Bryzgalov there as he puts that left leg out.
He's a guy that's used to getting penalties called against him. He's 2nd in the league in penalty minutes with 109 coming into the game.
Yeah, not too many guys like playing against him.
Not too many guys on his team liked him in the minors.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking with Craig McTavish, who coached him down in Chicago a couple of years ago, said, you know, even the guys in his own team in practice didn't like the way he just hustled every single day. But that hustle's gotten him to the National Hockey League, and now one of the better, if not the best pest in the league.
Probably the best pest in the league, born in France.
Yeah, absolutely. Good kid, too.
Whitney. He's got 669 career assists right now. Smith. Ferentz quickly up for Gazdic. Jones out of the penalty box after that tilt with Brendan Dillon. Sent in by Schultz, and Schultz did not cross the red line before he let it go. It'll come back down into Oilers territory on the icing.
Well, you know, when you look at the Oilers right now on Justin Schultz's goal and 2 shots, they're shooting at 50% right now. So if they want to get some more shots on Lettinen, obviously, and this has been a problem for the Oilers as of late, creating chances, getting pucks to the net, doing it on a regular basis. And it carries over into this one here tonight in this first period, being outshot 8-2 so far in this first.
There's another one by Gonchar. Seguin with a blast that goes wide. Cole waiting for it at the side of the net. Bryzgalov has the angle. He squeezes it and gets the call. Coming into this game, Louis, just you were talking about shots. They had 54 shots generated in those 2 previous games that the Oilers.
Yeah, and the last one, it was a real heavy out shooting by the Dallas Stars, 45-32 against Edmonton, and they were able to pull that one out in the shootout. But you saw that shot from the blue line, not a hard shot, but it creates chaos. You have to find the loose puck. It creates another opportunity on the doorstep for Eric Cole, who already has a goal in this game. So it doesn't always have to be the big booming shot. Just get it to that area with bodies following.
Seguin tried to do that. Petrie prevented it, but now a sharp angle shot. Cleared by Marincin, but Seguin's all over it. Tyler Seguin. Back to the point it comes. Connaughton with a wrist shot through traffic. Traffic provided by the captain, Jamie Benn. Benn from the corner. Marincin and Yakupov have him tied up. Petrie on the near side. An opportunity to move that puck forward to Eberle to Arcabello. Arcabello dumps it in. He's going to head off. Gonchar takes a look. Fellow Russian all over him. Knocks him down. Steals the puck. A backhand. Stopped by Lettinen. Nail Yakupov may do it again. 2 hits against Gonchar.
Good forecheck by Nail Yakupov.
Connaughton eases that puck down the ice. Nail Yakupov with the steal.
The Oilers need a little bit more of that, that's for sure. Get pucks in deep, establish that forecheck. Every time they've had it's generated a chance.
Gagne drops it back for Nugent Hopkins. He was tied up there by Horkoff. Beloff's shot is blocked by Peverley. Ends up behind Nichushkin. He'll give it to Peverley. He's surrounded by both Nugent Hopkins and Anton Beloff. Beloff outlet pass for Gagne. To the middle for Hall. Taylor Hall still has it. Drops it for Gagne. Gagne pokes it in behind the net. Hall swooping in. Peverley got there first. Valerie Nichushkin. He'll dump that puck in. Chase it himself. Justin Schultz gets there first. Schultz. Bumped into by big Nichushkin. Hall sweeps it in, letting in the save. Nichushkin, we mentioned a little bit of controversy in his naming to the Russian Olympic team. And the 18-year-old, the coach said it was too early, but the general manager, Alexei Yashin, says he wants him there, so he's going to Sochi.
Big body that can skate, that can protect the puck on that big ice. He could be a real handful down low.
Garbutt, speaking of handfuls. Quick shot by Roussel. That one hit the side of the net. Dillon trying to keep it in, can't do it. He'll give it to his D partner, Jordy Benn. Dallas, second of 3 games at home. They are the 24th ranked team at home in the NHL. They'll play Boston on Thursday before hitting the road They'll go to Minnesota, where the Oilers will be for their next game on Thursday. Eberle, button hook to the middle it goes. Yakupov, stopped by Lettinen, who stretched the pad. And then Yakupov gets nailed.
That was an elbow.
Cody Eakin got him up high, and now Eberle knocked down by Connauton. Yakupov right back at Cody Eakin. Connauton. Eberle steals the puck from him. Hard-working shift for both Eberle and Yakupov as they were paying the price behind the net.
Good finish by Arcobello afterwards, Kevin. You mentioned that was a real grinding shift down low and a good shift to kind of change a little bit of the momentum.
Fiddler moving in. He snaps a shot, but Petrie got the stick in the way. Hall checked by Whitney. Nugent Hopkins attempting to get it out for Eberle. Eberle goes cross-ice for Petrie. Whitney got a stick on that. Marincin does get it out to center, but it comes right back in. Petrie is there. He's got Whitney on him. He'll give it to the youngster Marincin. Marincin. Nugent Hopkins to Gagne. Gagne winds, fires a shot. Lettinen juggled it. Nugent Hopkins behind the net in a battle with Fiddler as he sends it around the boards. There's Beloff on the intercept. Anton Beloff keeps it in for Nugent Hopkins. Hall in the front of the net. Nugent Hopkins drops it for Taylor Hall. Hall all the way back to the blue line. He'll give it to Nick Schultz. Schultz behind the net. Gagne there. Gagne given a bump by Daly as Fiddler sends it around the boards for the rookie Chason. And the Dallas Stars desperately want to get a change. Gagne with it now. Gagne goes cross ice looking for Hall. Hall centers it out in front. Gagne goes to Beloff. Beloff, wrist shot through traffic. Lettinen the save. Nugent Hopkins still out there, still working. Gagne throws it towards the net. That gets stopped by Lettinen, but Hall's got it now. He'll go cross ice for Beloff. Winds, fakes. Now he's got it deep. He lets it go. And Lettinen took that one off the shoulder of the Dallas Stars, desperate to get a change as they've got guys bent over, gasping for air.
If you drive on snow and ice, you don't want all-season tires. You want all-weather tires. Get Nokian's most advanced all-weather tire, the WRG3 at Cal Tire.
Well, I'll tell you, Kevin, a couple of real good shifts in a row. It all started on Nail Yakupov's forecheck. He knocks his countryman Gonchar off the puck and takes the puck to the net. Then he follows it up with a second hit. And that carried over into the next shift and the next shift for the Edmonton Oilers. So the youngster getting his feet moving, a little aggression down low, creates a couple good scoring chances himself. And then everybody follows suit. And the game's changed around a little bit here in this first period.
And so has the shot clock, now 11-8.
It's contagious.
Daly. Eric Cole dumps the puck in. Ben going after it against Ference. Cole behind the net. Eric Cole. Bumped there by Boyd Gordon. Good job by Henste. And now Perron steals from Seguin. Jordy Ben with Seguin. To the other side, pinching in is Ference. Ference. Pass intended for Henske, picked off by Ben. Perron gets it back to Ference. Winds, lets it go. Lettinen the save. Ben given a bump by Perron as that puck goes into the Dallas bench. Rogers, Oilers hockey, right here on the net.
Kevin, we talked a lot about Nail Yakupov already in this game. He was the one that went out, got things going with that aggressive shift. And 5 points in his last 9 games played. When he moves his feet, he's an effective forechecker. He does get physical. You see him hit Gonchar there, and that just kind of rolled things over. He follows up with a second hit, shows a little emotion, and as a result, the 2 shifts afterwards follow that up, and a couple more good scoring chances against. Beloff fakes a shot around Cole, gets it to the net. And you can see the Dallas Stars standing still in the defensive zone. That aggressive forecheck has pushed them back and generated some chances.
Oilers with 9 shots so far with 2:24 left to go in this first period. Schultz has the goal for the Oilers at 3:40. This first period is 5th of the year. Nugent Hopkins with it now. Nugent Hopkins against Jamie Benn. Back to the point. Schultz behind the net. Goligoski is there. It gets broken up. And finally, Ben will move it forward. Seguin dumps it in. That top line is going to change up. Seguin with 21 goals on the season, but no points in his last 5 games coming into this. But he got an assist on the goal by Ben A power play marker at 10:22, the third goal for the Dallas Stars.
You know, the Dallas Stars are 7-12-6 when Tyler Seguin does not register a point, 13-8-1 when he does. So a pretty dramatic difference when the big line, and especially Tyler Seguin, their leading scorer, is going this season for the Dallas Stars.
Jordan Eberle. Checked by Connaughton. Fell off to Nick Schultz. Schultz flutters it in. Gonchar there to put it right back out again for Nichushkin. Stolen by Eberle. Eberle. Nichushkin battles back, but Eberle stays with it. He gets dumped by Horcoff, and play continues. Eberle. Drop pass for Connaughton. Connaughton with a wrist shot through traffic, steered aside by Bryzgalov. Less than a minute to go in the first period. Brendan Dillon retreats back into his own zone as the Stars make changes. Ben tried to get it out. Hemsky there to pounce on it. Now Perron. Perron. Stick prevented that from getting on net. There's a bouncing puck and a pad save by Kari Lettinen. Antoine Roussel has it hop over his stick. He and Gordon meet behind the net. Garbutt in there as well. He gets cut off by Petrie. And Hemsky starts away. A pass for Perron over his stick. Jordy Ben will just rifle it right back in. 20 seconds on the clock. Petrie. Checked by Eakin. Garbutt out in front, but Petrie stayed with his check and prevented Eakin from getting the puck to the net. Dillon, long pass intended for Garbutt, and that's going to come back with just 3.9 seconds to go in this first period.
And one of the game plans here for the Dallas Stars, you can see it happen a lot. As soon as a puck turns over, they're getting bodies up the ice in a hurry. They're spreading the Oilers thin, and as a result, they're looking for that stretch pass. And for Edmonton right now, they have to do a little bit better job at acquiring the bodies coming over the line a little quicker. Too much time for Dallas to set up, look for late men, get shots through to the net. And it's created some trouble in the defensive zone.
And that will do it for the first period that sees 4 goals. The first one scored by ex-Oiler Eric Cole just 14 seconds in. Coming up after the break, the panel. Look at the trade tracker. In the focus, Dustin Byfuglien.
Well, in Dallas's first one of the season against Edmonton, they scored 3 goals in that game. The Stars with 3 goals in the opening period of this game, the Oilers with 1. And so it is a difference of 2 through the opening 20 minutes. UFC Fight Night number 35 tomorrow on Sportsnet 360 from Duluth, Georgia. The prelims are at 3 p.m. Mountain, and then at 5 p.m. Mountain, it's Luke Rockhold. What a great name. Costas Philippou in a middleweight bout. Following that, it's Canada versus Australia as the Ultimate Fighter Nations premieres at 8 p.m. Mountain. Also on Sportsnet 360. Well, certainly the most famous Dallas Star, and in fact Minnesota North Star, is Mike Modano. Famous for what he's been able to do during a career where he played 1,499 games, and he was so good that they actually have put together a beer in his name. It's, I don't know if you can see it there. Oh, sorry, wrong way. It's the Mike Modano beer, and the number 561, for those of you who are real astute Mike Modano hockey fans will know that that is the amount of goals that he scored in his National Hockey League career. He scored more than any other American-born player, and of course in 1999 was able to hold the Stanley Cup. This is what Mike Modano did better than any other player born in the United States of America. And I'm sure Modano had 1 or 2 loggers during his career on an off night. But it's such a big deal with Rabbit Hole Brewing is the company that does make the beer. Longtime season ticket holders, fans of Modano, and so the two of them work together. And it's not just the beer. I mean, they've got the hats. They've also got the mugs. And what would a beer be like? It's like a German lager, by the way, for those of you really interested. They've got the poster as well for Mike Modano, who oftentimes is in the building, has an executive role and a special advisor with the Dallas Stars. And listen, I'm busy working, so I can't try it, but I'm guessing that the beer is like the man they named it after. Very smooth.
Absolutely, Gene. Let's take a look at the first period scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons Cord. Visit WorleyParsons.com/careers to find your place on our team.
Well, both the teams split goals. Eric Cole with his 12th, Justin Schultz with his 5th, and Ryan Garbutt, Jamie Benn scored later in that period to make it 3-1 for the Dallas Stars. 12-10, the Stars outshoot Edmonton. They were heavily outshooting them, Kevin, earlier in the period, but Edmonton found a way to kind of battle back at pucks in deep and made a better second half of that period. But are down by 2 goals to a team that's lost 6 and desperate for a win.
Gene talked about the fact that Dallas scored 3 in Edmonton on November 13th. They've got 3 now. The Oilers got 3 goals December 1st right here. And they won the game in a shootout. As the second period gets underway, Nugent Hopkins, Gagne, and Hall start up front. Justin Schultz and Andrew Ference against the top line for the Dallas Stars, who have the puck, and it's Jamie Benn with the first shot of the period. Seguin looking for the rebound, and there is Bryzgalov to cover it up.
Well, again, another real quick start by the Dallas Stars, who came out really early in the first period, scored 14 seconds in, and it's Seguin in on the forecheck, and just a puck that gets coughed up by Ference and thrown into that blue paint, and it kind of pinballs around a little bit, but he eventually finds its way into Bryzgalov. So, as they did in the first period, it's the Stars that come out, generate a couple chances, and Seguin, again, after he goes in the forecheck, finds his way to the front and had a pretty good backhand whack at that loose puck.
Seguin with 42 points on the season. 16 of those points have come here at the American Airlines Center. Boyd Gordon blocks that attempt by Jordie Benn, and here's Perron. Perron stops, gives it back to Gordon. It ends up going right on to Kari Lehtinen, and he scoops it up and hangs onto it.
A bad little rush here, too, by Perron, as he doesn't quite get the shot that he wants away. It's Gordon, though, in the defensive zone that makes the play to get it up to Perron, a little stop up, and because it gets deflected off the stick of Jordie Benn, doesn't quite have the tempo that maybe Gordon was looking for, trying to redirect at home, but a good defensive play leads to an offensive play for the third line of Edmonton.
And an offensive faceoff means the top line can go right back to work. Ference plays it around the boards. Nugent Hopkins steals it away from Dillon. Nugent Hopkins with a shot, stopped by Kari Lehtinen. Here's Hall with a pass for Gagne right through. Ference pinching against Garbutt. Trevor Daley under pressure from Ryan Nugent Hopkins, who gets it to Ference. Ference then gets checked by Ryan Garbutt, and Garbutt skates the puck out. Garbutt dumps it in. Roussel against Schultz. Antoine Roussel throws it right out in front, and Cody Eakin scores. Cody Eakin parked himself in front. Roussel got him the puck, and it's 4-1.
Well, this line's been really good for the Dallas Stars as of late. Even though they've lost 6 games in a row, this trio just hustles. Look at the work by Roussel to get in, dig this puck loose, and then have the wherewithal to get his head up, find Eakin in the slot, and just put it right on the tape for an easy tap in for him. Nobody picks up Eakin here as he walks right into the slot and has a gift handed to him, and a 4-1 lead for Dallas.
14 seconds into the first period, a minute 10 into the second period. The Dallas Stars have opened up a 3-goal lead. The most goals any team has scored against the other in this series. And for Cody Eakin, his 10th goal of the year. Whitney out there now. Garbutt gets the assist along with Roussel. So Garbutt with a 2-point night. He and Jamie Benn each have a couple of points. And the Oilers have their work cut out for them. Anton Belov to the middle to Ryan Smith. Smith skates across the blue line, lets a slap shot go that went off Gonchar and came right to Jordie Benn. He outlets to Rich Peverley. Peverley goes cross ice looking for Horkoff. By him, Petrie is there. Petrie almost gave it away to Nichushkin. Marincin, though, works it out. Peverley with it now. Peverley fires the puck in. Marincin waiting for it on the near side. Gets by him. Gets by everybody but Luke Gazdic. Cutting for the net is Jones. Jones with a shot that ends up behind the net. Back to the point. Marincin with it. Marincin off the end boards looking for the carom, but it's picked off there by Jordie Benn. Ryan Smith working hard. So is Jones. This fourth line trying to generate something. Petrie's shot gets deflected by Ryan Jones, and it ends up in the netting.
Your shirt is about to get a whole bunch dirtier. Fling some mud with a Can-Am Maverick XMR from Martin Motorsports.
Dallas Eakins has seen his team give up a goal early. He talked about getting on a fragile team in the form of the Dallas Stars. So that has not worked out so far.
Puck's been like a grenade in the defensive zone for Edmonton in this game. And 2 early goals, one in the first, one in the second, really have set the tone for Dallas, and they have been relentless on the forecheck, getting pucks in deep, making it very difficult for Edmonton to generate any offense.
Connaughton for Cole. Cole centering for Seguin. Good play by Ference to break that up. Cole's got it again. Boyd Gordon behind the net. Takes a bump from Tyler Seguin and lost his stick. Getting free though is Hemsky. Ales Hemsky at the blue line. He gets knocked down by Eric Cole. And a penalty coming up with 16:38 to go here in the second period. And Eric Cole is headed to the penalty box. And the Oilers are headed to the power play.
Well, the Oilers needed a call here. They needed something to change, and it's Ales Hemsky with a goal and assist last game comes through, and as he tries to avoid Cole to hit, it's that little push out of the stick by Cole that I think draws the penalty, obviously. Catches him, and little ticky-tack call, but the Oilers will take it, Kevin. Power plays have been hard to come by for them, and an opportunity here to start to claw their way back into this one.
As we mentioned, just one against Chicago. 0 for 11 against the Stars. They need one here. Nugent Hopkins to Hall. Hall trying to get it to Gagne. Broken up there by Goligoski. Hopkins has got it again. He is checked by Eakin. Good play by Schultz to Eberle. Snaps a shot. There's Gagne looking for the rebound. Schultz knocks that puck down and keeps it in. Justin Schultz to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Hopkins back to Schultz at the point. Justin Schultz to Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins snaps a shot that hits Alex Goligoski. Then Goligoski returned the favor by hitting Nugent-Hopkins. And the Oilers able to keep it in. Taylor Hall will play it back to Eberle at the point. He'll give it to Justin Schultz. Over to Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins with Hall cruising in front. The puck doesn't get through. Another chance, and he rings it off the bar. Nugent-Hopkins comes close. Schultz will give it to Hall. Taylor Hall sets up. He's got Eberle on the near side. Back to Schultz at the point. Down to Eberle. Eberle moves to the middle. Eberle still has it. Fires a shot. Saved by Lettman and cleared down the ice.
A couple of real high-quality chances produced there off the movement of bodies and pucks by the Edmonton Oilers in this power play, Kevin, and a couple of real high-quality chances in front. Lettman with a big save there on Eberle late.
3 shots for the Oilers so far on this power play. But now Fiddler, shorthanded, will throw a shot towards Ilya Bryzgalov. Dallas 21st ranked on the penalty kill, but that rises all the way to 9th here at the American Airlines Center. Ryan Smith trying to keep it in on the near side. Gets it to Yakupov. Time down to 17 seconds. Perron back to the point to Petrie. Petrie will give it to Hemsky. Cross ice. Yakupov tried the one-timer, and it cost him his stick as it snapped.
That's the shot he was looking for, no question about it. Tough time for a stick to break for Yakupov. He gets in, makes the play to get possession, then a real nice seam pass by Hemsky, and the stick shatters.
And on the giveaway, his shot. Yakupov makes, or Bryzgalov made the save. Daly falls down, the puck loose, and Petrie's got it. Jeff Petrie under pressure from Cole. Nice pass to Beloff, to Arcabello trying to get it to Jones. He's got Gordon out in front. Goligoski ties up Jones, and Cole comes away with it. Good defensive play there by Gordon. Arcabello brings it back in. Mark Arcabello plays it behind the net. Jones going after it against Alex Goligoski. Nugent-Hopkins up there as well, but it is Jamie Benn who starts away. Benn with Seguin driving towards the net. Off the stick of Cole, and the Oilers trying to take advantage of a line change. Gagne. Drop pass. Arcabello gives it to Gagne. Gagne lost the handle. Still has it. Plays it behind the net. Up over the stick of Arcabello. Beloff keeps it in against Seguin. Kevin Connaughton with it now. Connaughton to Gonchar. To Seguin, content just to send that puck down the ice as the Stars want to get a change in. 16-15, the shots favor the Dallas Stars. Pass for Hall from Gagne, too far for him, but there's Nugent-Hopkins to get it right back to Taylor Hall. He's checked by Beverly. Gagne out in front, off the skate and right to Kari Lettman. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 4 points in his last 4 games. That one rings up
The game with Windows, and tonight we take a look at NHL.com, and it takes us to the mid-season rankings put out by Central Scouting. A look at the top 10, and not a lot of surprises. Sam Bennett from Kingston is rated at this point number 1 overall, and there is some Western content as well. But we flash back to Central Scouting midterms 2010. Back then they had Taylor Hall number 1, Tyler Seguin number 2, and that's the way it went in the draft. Live the game with Windows.
And now, Louis, just 1 point separating those two. 43 points for Hall, 42 points for Seguin. Everly with a puck back to Dillon. He fires a shot that went off Everly, kept in by Jordy Ben. Justin Schultz on the far side. Nice pass to Arcabello. Now to Everly. The pass went behind Nail Yakupov. Jordy Ben overskates it. Yakupov takes advantage. Everly in there as well. Jordan Everly behind the net, but there is Ben to recover. He might not get as much attention in his brother, Louis, but you think he's developed into a fine defenseman.
He's been real good, real solid. You know, one of those guys that makes a play, can get up offensively, but plays a physical enough game to make it a difficult time in the defensive zone for opposing forwards. And yeah, doesn't quite get the recognition of the Olympian brother, but a pretty darn good defenseman. Had a little bit of a unorthodox way to the National Hockey League as well. Did not play major junior, did not play college. Went straight into the East Coast Hockey League from the BCHL in Victoria, his hometown, and found his way here eventually.
Ales Hemsky behind the net. Ales Hemsky works it out in front, and there is David Perron banging away. But Lettinen stands his ground and makes the save.
You know, for a guy 6'4", Kari Lettinen can really move quickly for a big guy, and a good job here by Hemsky, who's had his feet underneath him again, just driving it around into the blue paint. We talked about the presence, Kevin, of going to the blue paint, making it difficult. Look where David Perron is. He goes to the blue paint, literally standing there in the doorstep, gets a real good chop at it coming to the net, and a good save by Lettinen would have otherwise resulted in another goal by Edmonton. So it doesn't have to take the dynamic play all the time. More pucks have to be funneled there, but more importantly, bodies have to be there too.
Ringen goes down low to Petrie out in front for Nugent Hopkins. What a save by Lettinen, who's lost his stick. Petrie with it now. Jeff Petrie with a wrist shot through traffic, and that was blocked by Antoine Roussel. And Marincin put that back in, offside the ruling.
That was a close one. Marincin thought he maybe got it right in the nick of time, but again, another real good play to jam the puck to the net. Good fake on the shot by Marincin, who's really showing a little bit of an offensive flair, and it's Petrie down low that finds Nugent Hopkins in the slot, just jams it towards the net. And another in-tight save by Lettinen, who does a great job to get that pad down flat. Loses his stick in the process, but somehow is able to stand his ground and make another good save.
Kari Lettinen 5-5-5 here at home this season. 16 wins overall. Connaughton drops it back for Gonchar. Tipped in by Vern Fiddler with 11:35 to go in the second period. Gazdic backhands it down the ice. He'll chase it. Fiddler gets there first to Gonchar. Off the boards for Chason. Alex Chason fired it in, but he brought it in offside.
Good backtrack there by Gazdic. You know, the ex-Dallas Star product. Played 4 years in Texas, their American Hockey League organization. Didn't get a sniff in the National Hockey League here in Dallas, but does still have a lot of friends that are on the team now. And this is his first opportunity to play against his old team, and having a real solid start to his NHL career in Dallas, and a lot of kind words from his ex-teammates in the locker room this morning.
And Gene will have much more on that in our second intermission.
And when you're as tough as Gazdic, they're going to be kind words coming your way.
Yes, Mr. Gazdic.
Nobody wants to make him too angry anyway.
He has fought 10 times in this league. Look at Hemsky. Stopped by Dillon eventually. Luke Gazdic, third among rookies in penalty minutes with 78.
A lot of the guys that are now in the Dallas Stars uniform that played down in Texas in the previous years had Luke Gazdic looking after him. So obviously a lot of praise for him and his role, and getting some ice time in this game here tonight from Dallas Eakins as well.
Ben plays it to Ben. Jamie Benn stopped by Arcabello. Perron trying to get it to Everly. Great pass attempt by Arcabello, and he draws an interference call.
Pro Go Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore.
Participating product for tonight's hockey game is Quaker Crispy Minis or Rice Cakes.
Jamie Benn is in the penalty box, Louis, for interference.
Just gets a little aggressive here right there. The old butt end, elbow, whatever you want to call it, kind of rakes the face of Mark Arcobello to prevent him from getting to that puck. Jamie Benn does have a mean streak.
And the Oilers have their second power play of this game. They generated 3 shots with a man advantage earlier in the period.
For such a soft-spoken guy.
Yeah,
we talked
he
about
is a
Jamie Benn,
soft-spoken guy.
soft-spoken, but he's not on the ice, that's for sure. Maybe the toughest guy in the Stars uniform.
Taylor Hall pins off Antoine Roussel. Gets the zone, and then Roussel ties him up. Nugent Hopkins carries on. Nugent Hopkins stopped. Schultz fires a blast. Hit Vern Fiddler, ends up in the corner. Hall on the far side. He'll give it to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins being watched by Antoine Roussel. Nugent Hopkins down low for Hall. Hall's got Everly in the high slot. Justin Schultz up top, and that one gets deflected just wide. Nugent Hopkins picks it up again. He'll quarterback from the half wall. Nugent Hopkins, Gagne down low as well. Here is Hall trying to feed it out in front. They do, and there is Gagne to put it upstairs. A power play goal makes it a 4-2 game. Sam Gagne with his 6th goal of the season. Makes it 4-2.
And Edmonton with only 3 power play goals in their last 7 games played. I love the fact that Justin Schultz, twice on this power play, one-time the puck. He's getting it to the net. Gagne in front. So a couple one-timers, that chaos we talked about creating down low. Eventually it's worked down low by Nugent Hopkins, and it's Sam Gagne that pounces on the loose puck with the backhand and puts it upstairs past Lettinen for a power play goal. And celebration afterwards there. But those 2 one-time shots, Kevin, you shoot the puck actively, eventually you get the play you want to make, and Sam Gagne capitalizes.
Sam Gagne came into the game without a goal in his last 9. That streak is over. He's got 5 points in his last 5 games. The Oilers looking for more. And they snap a drought against Dallas this year when it comes to the power play. .10:28, the time of the goal. Nugent Hopkins and Hall get the helpers. And Taylor Hall's got 6 points in his last 6 games. He's got 2 points tonight, so he's got 7 points.
Yeah, 2 assists already tonight for him.
45 points on the year, came in tied for 15th in the NHL in scoring, and now a 2-on-1. Ales Hemsky takes the shot, and Lettinen got a piece of it. Perron leaves it there for Smith. Hemsky behind the net. Hemsky gets a little help for Perron. Stole it away from Dillon. Petrie ready to shoot. Hemsky has the puck now. Ales Hemsky moving in against Peverley. Gets checked. There's Gastic with a shot. Hemsky got spun around. He's slow to get up. Ales Hemsky limping over to the Oiler bench.
Now, that's a tough loss. Ales Hemsky, maybe the best Oiler on the ice tonight. The way he's created, the way he's skated, and he looked like he got twisted up as he spun around to try and find the open man.
The Oilers have been suffering from shot blocking. Sam Gagne, he took a shot at the end of the game in Chicago. They didn't practice yesterday, trying to heal up. And Ales Hemsky, another guy that feels the sting of a shot.
I thought he got twisted, but it was a shot, Kevin. You're right. As he maneuvers around, this puck goes back to the blue line as the shot's taken right there by Gastic off the bench, who just comes in. And I like the fact that he's thinking shot the whole way. He catches his teammate in a pretty sensitive area inside the boot. And for Ales Hemsky, who's in a lot of pain heading to the bench, and tough customer stays there.
Boyd Gordon took a shot from Beloff in the game against Chicago. Gastic with a now long shot. Lettinen steers it aside. 20 shots for the Oilers, 16 for the Stars. 7.5 minutes to go in the period. Daly fakes against Beloff. Lays it around the boards. Waiting for it is Eric Cole. Cole, Benn, and Seguin, the forward line, and it's Benn with the puck now to Seguin. Seguin throws it towards the net. That one goes wide. Beloff with Cole hacking at him. Gets the puck down the ice. No icing. The Oilers will get a change. Jordie Benn to Chiasson. Alex Chiasson flips it in. He'll go after it. Marincin takes a look. Gives it to Justin Schultz. Schultz right back to Martin Marincin. Marincin leads the charge. Fires it right on to Lettman, and he will hang on to it. Sam Gagner, without a goal in his last 9, puts it home to make it 4-2.
Players who will be going high in the NHL draft this summer. Former Flames named Hunter, Poplinski, Otto, Vernon, and Reinhart will be coaching the players on Team Moore and Team Cherry.
6:46 to go in the second period.
Little shout out, Kevin, in that Prospects games to Aaron Irving, representing the Edmonton Oil Kings, and good friends of the family. Don Lucy, I'm sure, will be there cheering on.
Oh yeah, great showcase game.
Big opportunity for him.
Hall, drop pass for Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins trying to get by Eakin. Cody Eakin. And Nugent Hopkins battle for the loose puck. Eakin can't get it by Andrew Ference. Ference with Gagner calling for it. Ends up on the stick of Justin Schultz. Nugent Hopkins with it now. The Oilers with a pushback here in the second period. Hall, he gets knocked down by Eakin. Nugent Hopkins carries on, gets it to Gagner. Look at Ference down low. Gagner. Pass attempt blocked by Goligoski. Garbutt plays it behind the net. Eakin waiting for it, takes it from Hall. He gets it to Antoine Roussel. The Stars can't get it out. Hall, great job to keep it in. Look at Taylor Hall. Take a hit from Cody Eakin. Cody Eakin throwing a couple of hits on that shift.
Taylor Hall thought about swinging the stick there too. You could see him turn around getting fired up, and for Eakin did connect with Hall a couple of times on that shift as he tried to make that move to the middle, and better heads prevailed there for Taylor Hall as he was going to turn around and swing away.
Nichushkin to Peverley. Rich Peverley snaps a shot, and Petrie got in the way of that one. Trying to get it to Eberle. Now he'll have an opportunity to do it himself. Petrie to Yakupov. Yakupov plays it back to Petrie to Marincin. Marincin reverses to Petrie. Petrie to Eberle. Eberle, drop pass, long shot. Arcabello steered aside by Kari Lettman. Sergei Gonchar, pocket pick there by Eberle. He gets double teamed by Yakupov as well, but Peverley comes back to help out. Kevin Connauton, he's stopped by Eberle. Yakupov moving in with Eberle, and Yakupov having it bobble off the end of his stick. Yakupov back to the point. Here is Belloff with a wrist shot that hit Horkoff, and Sean Horkoff plays it to Nichushkin on the near side. Valerie Nichushkin dumps it in. There's Belloff. Leaves it there for Belloff. For Schultz, gets by him. Jordie Benn waits for traffic. Side of the net. Here's Benn with a shot up high. Bryzgalov stood his ground. Jordie Benn throws it towards the net. That went off Nick Schultz. Dillon keeps it in for Eric Cole. Eric Cole behind the net. Swooping in is Taylor Seguin. Benn, what a shot. What a piece. Bryzgalov got on that shot. Cole still has it. Drops it for Benn. Now the Dallas Stars with their turn on this pushback. Less than 4 minutes to go in the period. Benn, bubble, back to the point. Dillon waits. Now he'll throw it towards the net. Seguin trying to get a piece of it. He was tied up there by Boyd Gordon. Belloff has some room as the Stars make changes. He'll get to the red line and just cruise in. Why not keep going? He'll backhand it in, then he's going to head off. David Perron, angry as he goes to the bench, smashes his stick on the bench.
A couple real high-quality chances for the top scorer of the Dallas Stars, Jamie Benn, as he just kind of walks into the high slot. And when that big line's on the ice, he's the shooter. You got to watch for him.
Jones right up the middle. Ryan Jones with a shot. Lettman got a piece right out in front for Ryan Smith, and he couldn't swing the backhand as Jordie Benn had him tied up. Peverley. Outlet to Chiasson. Alex Chiasson dumps it into the corner. Fiddler chases after it along with Whitney. Jones with it now. Ryan Jones to the Smith. Pocket pick by the Wizard. And the call is made at the blue line. It's gloved ahead, and Whitney's not happy. Rogers Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet.
inductees in Cenovus will donate $400 to Valor Place Military Family Support House. To date, the Oilers have scored 128 goals for a total of $51,200. Louis and Kevin earlier discussing the late game block by Sam Gagner and the Patrick Sharp shot. Well, afterwards they ran into each other, and Sharp apologized to Sam for that shot block, saying he panicked. It even happens to those that have 25 goals on the season.
Absolutely. We got
Cannon.
2:40 left to go in the period. Garbutt shot hit the post. Ryan Garbutt, 1 goal so far tonight. Almost got number 2 there. He had 2 against the Oilers the last time they met.
Yeah, he's going to wish he plays against these guys all the time. Man, he's all over it.
He has the puck right now. Ryan Garbutt. Remember, he ran into Ilya Bryzgalov in the second period the last time these teams met. Bryzgalov left the game, and Devan Dubnyk came on in relief. Garbutt got a goal against him, too. Sean Horcoff brings it in himself. Pocket picked there by Perron. Back the other way. Hemsky with Nugent Hopkins. Hemsky trying to work his way in against Gonchar. Back to the point. Marincin keeps it in. Hemsky, Perron with Nugent Hopkins. Perron behind the net. Perron still has it. Throws it in front, and there is Horcoff. Defensively broke it up. Nichushkin off the end of the stick of Eakin. 24 shots for the Oilers, 20 for the Dallas Stars.
In a game in which they were getting outshot pretty bad in the first period, but they battled back, found ways to get pucks in deep, work pucks to the net off the cycle, and have turned this game around. They're not leading, obviously down by 2 still, but they are generating more chances with their play.
Here's a chance for Ryan Smith. Smith stops, gives it to Eberle. Eberle, great move. Look at Eberle, backhand hit the side of the net. Jamie Benn trying to get it out. Marincin, good job to keep it in, but Gonchar picks it up with less than a minute to go in the period. Peverley tied up there by Petrie. Eric Cole, Marincin pins him against the boards. Gordon trying to dig it free. It does come loose. Ryan Jones can't get it out. Ryan Smith will have an opportunity. Pass was behind Jones, but Jones picks it up. Gives it to Petrie, snaps it to the middle for Smith. Smith with Gordon and Jones. Jones out in front, it comes just over the stick of Boyd Gordon. Ference at the point for Boyd Gordon. Worked over there by Jordie Benn. Racing in, Sam Gagner. Gagner to Gordon. Gordon, backhand, hit the side of the cage. Hall out there now with 14 seconds to go in the period. Jamie Benn has an opportunity to skate it out slowly. He will take that opportunity, flip it in, one hopper right on to Bryzgalov, and that should do it for the period.
Much better period, Kevin, by the Edmonton Oilers, out shooting the Dallas Stars 15-8 in that middle frame. Scored a power play goal by Sam Gagner. Have clawed their way back into the mix, only down by 2 heading into the third period against a team that's given up the lead in 4 of the last 6.
The Hockey Insiders are going to come up after the break. It's Rogers Oilers Hockey, and it's right here on Sportsnet. Goal of the season, Sam Gagner scored in the second period, and Gurpreet Saron of Edmonton entered the score and win and has won the Bradley Original Electric Smoker courtesy of Safeway and Quaker Crispy Minis or Rice Cakes. Congratulations to you, Gurpreet, on the goal by Sam Gagner, a power play marker, and the first goal for Sam Gagner in his last 10 games. It comes at a time and against a team, Louis, that has been fragile, holding on to leads.
You have to think that Edmonton obviously knows that. A little discussion between Perron and Cole right off the face-off. David Perron was agitated in that second period, and that's when he plays his best.
Third period underway. The top line for the Stars right on it. Well, we talked about the fact that the Dallas Stars had a 2-0 lead against the New York Islanders on Sunday and coughed it up and ended up losing the game 4-2. David Perron in a race now with Jordie Benn. Perron hit the referee, gets it right back again, gives it to Eberle. Eberle works his way out in front. Here's an opportunity and a shot by Arcabello that's blocked by Eric Cole.
Nice work down low by Jordan Eberle, who's really had the puck on a string tonight in tight quarters, and he finds Arcobello through all those bodies, and Arcobello gets it away. But as Dallas often does when they converge back down, condense in the defensive zone. Good at blocking shots.
The Oilers put their top line back on the ice. Sam Gagner tips it in. Lettinen stops it up there for Alex Goligoski. Reverses for D partner Trevor Daley. Goligoski. Roussel lets it go by. Petrie picks it up. Gagner plays it back. Marincin to Petrie. Petrie off the boards for Nugent Hopkins. Chops it in. Back the other way we go with Garbutt. Roussel puts it wide. Cody Eakin on it. Lays it behind the net. Martin Marincin intercepts, and he'll give it to Jeff Petrie. Petrie averaging 21.5 minutes a game for the Edmonton Oilers. He's got an assist against Chicago. He's got 11 points on the season. And he plays it to Yakupov. Yakupov had it bounce off his stick right to Whitney. Ray Whitney. Petrie ties up Fiddler. Chiasson carries on. Back to the point. One-time shot from Connaughton. Pad save by Ilya Bryzgalov as Marincin took care of Fiddler in front. Petrie with it now. Sends it around the boards. Connaughton trying to keep it in against Yakupov. Can't do it. Here comes Jones to Smith. Smith with a backhand out in front for Jones, and he was tied up. Could not get a good shot away. Kevin Connaughton prevented that. And then Ryan Smith fell over top of Ryan Jones. They'll both head off.
Well, yeah, Ryan Jones has had a good game. Real spirited bout in the first period with Brendan Dillon. Toe-to-toe there, and then has been real aggressive on the forecheck. Had a couple of real dynamite chances to score as well. Adding that energy on that fourth line.
It is Perron, Eberle, and Arcobello out now, the second line for the Oilers. Peverley takes a hit from Beloff as he gets the puck in deep. Schultz hit by Horcoff. Horcoff got the worst of it. He goes down. Beloff whacked at by Peverley. 3-4 whacks.
God, I can hear it all the way up here.
Schultz. Perron. Arcobello. Nice move around Horcoff. He'll backhand it in. He'll head off. Perron going after it. Jordy Ben gets there first and delivers to Eric Cole. Cole can't get by Nugent Hopkins. Horcoff does get it down far enough that the Dallas Stars can get a change in. Eberle chops it in. Goligoski will be first on it. Brendan Dillon. He flicks that puck high and gets it down into Oiler territory. The Dallas Stars, 5th in the Central. They are currently 4th in the chase for the wild card. Nugent Hopkins gets surrounded by green shirts, but the puck comes to Hall. Hall to Nugent Hopkins. Prevented that pass. Seguin. Hall. Bumped by Daley. Tyler Seguin. Outlet hit the skate of Daley, but he recovered and prevented Gagner from getting loose. Marincin will give it to Justin Schultz. Schultz quickly to Gagner. Wraps it around the boards. Ryan Smith going after it. Cody Eakin is there. Can't control. Yakupov. Gagner shot. And Lettinen just got enough of it as Gagner was in position A.
If you're looking for commercial insurance or risk management services, contact us to see what the power of insight can do for you.
Sam Gagner almost picks up his second goal here, Kevin. Nice pass out in the slot by Yakupov. Rings it off. Looks like it might catch the head bar and go up over top of the glass. And for Gagner shaking his head, had a real good look there. And a nice little forecheck by Ryan Smith set the whole thing up.
26 shots for the Oilers. They outshot the Dallas Stars 15-9 in that second period. Antoine Roussel cannot get it back to the point. Boyd Gordon broke it up. Smith with it now. Marincin, wrist shot and a glove save by Kari Lettinen.
Nice little sneak attack by Marincin. We've seen him do this quite a few times in his young National Hockey League career. Likes to jump up, has a real nose for knowing when to go. And as you watch, he just kind of comes out of nowhere, jumps to a hole, and gets a good wrister through a little screen. As Ben goes down to block the shot, kind of screens Lettinen a little bit, but he sees it the whole way and makes the glove hand save.
Like to do that in Sochi for Team Slovakia against
He's a cool
Finland.
cucumber, that's for sure.
Yeah. Petruchin Sends it in. Arcabello quick on it ahead of Peverly. Nichushkin now against Nick Schultz. Schultz can't get it out. Jordy Ben keeps it in. Peverly back to the point. Dillon with a wrist shot through traffic. Big rebound for Sean Horcoff. Cleared away. And here comes Eberle. Eberle to Arcabello. Mark Arcabello. And looking for Eberle, but it's offside.
Cotswood Interiors. Everything a furniture store should be. 25 years of inspiring selection, complimentary design service, and quality you can trust.
Randy Ruff was an associate coach for Team Canada when they won gold in the 2010 games in Vancouver. 574 victories. A lot of those Louis in Buffalo. He is 12th all-time in coaching victories.
15 years he spent in Buffalo as a head coach.
Hall, wrist shot again, and this time it's gobbled up by Lettinen, and he'll hang on.
Good little drive wide for Taylor Hall. Had an opportunity to shoot a little bit earlier in this period. As he walked down, he elected to pass it. This time he wants to shoot. I think that's a good thing when Taylor Hall is shooting the puck, because he really does have that wrister that just comes off the stick quickly. And here just a nice wall-to-wall pass with speed. Gets it away, looking for that juicy rebound. And a good save by Lettinen.
2 points tonight, both assists. 13th game against the Dallas Stars in his career. He's got now 7 points. Gagne bumps into Seguin. Hall digs for the puck, gets it to Nugent Hopkins. Lost it to Seguin, quickly to Jamie Benn. He's got Cole flying the zone. Dumps it in. Ferentz given a punch there by Seguin. As it comes to Gagne, Hall kicks it forward. Goligoski to Cole. Cole moving in against Ferentz. Eric Cole cutting for the net. 2 chances at it. Denied by Ilya Bryzgalov. Connaughton fires it right on. And Bryzgalov makes the save, and he'll hang on.
Nice shot by Kevin Connaughton. We talked about him, the Edmonton native, and his first opportunity to play against his hometown team of the Edmonton Oilers. And a real good drive wide first by Eric Cole. Almost bobbles through. Good recovery back by Justin Schultz to get there, along with Ferentz and Sam Gagne. And then Connaughton with the blast afterwards from the blue line. And Bryzgalov has to come up with another fine save.
Cole played 63 games for the Oilers in the 08-09 season.
Such a strong driver from that right-hand side, being a left-handed shot. Tucks that shoulder down and is still a force going to the net.
Garbage shot deflected by Roussel, but Bryzgalov made the save. And then Gonchar kicked it to Eakin. Antoine Roussel pushed out the puck there by Nail Yakupov, and we have seen that in this game. As Yakupov stripped Gonchar of the puck with a heavy hit, did the same there to Antoine Roussel. Marincin over to Petrie. 13:40 left to go in regulation time. Martin Marincin up the middle for Ryan Smith. Lettinen to Dillon. Under pressure from Eberle. Yakupov as well as he gets it to Smith. Centers, but there is Ray Whitney. Whitney to the red line. He'll backhand it in. Bryzgalov leaves it for Marincin, who plays it around the boards. Intercepted by Jordy Ben. Ben to Fiddler. Fiddler had Marincin all over him. Back to the point it comes. Whitney chops it in. Chase on. One-timer from Dillon. And there is Bryzgalov to make the save. Jordy Ben. Another shot, and that one goes wide. First one was blocked by David Perron. A weak attempt at the net. Petrie picks it off. He'll give it to Arcabello. With speed, Eberle and Perron join him. Arcabello, his wrist shot misses the target. Anton Belloc, good job to keep it in, but it went right to Vern Fiddler. Eberle's got it. Eberle gets it to Hall. He's going to head off. Belloc to Gagne. Gagne checked and neutral ice. Nichushkin back in for Dallas. Valerie Nichushkin gets double teamed. Hall's got the puck, and then he gets checked by Peverly. Peverly just keeps it in. Horcoff on the forecheck. Gagne can't get it by Goligoski. Rips it around the boards. Hall waiting for it on the far side. Right up the middle to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins squeezed off there by Dalen. Peverly swoops in and grabs the disc. Rich Peverly uses the glass, gets it out for Horcoff. Sean Horcoff Stopped by Nugent Hopkins. Goligoski takes a look. The Oilers want to make a change. Peverley almost sent in alone. Ference back there defensively against Rich Peverley.
Just too many turnovers, Kevin, by both sides. A real sloppy little section here this third period. Nobody really taking control of this game. And for the Dallas Stars, trying to defend but turning pucks over themselves, allowing Edmonton to get chances into the Edmonton Oilers. Doing the same thing, playing with fire, allowing the Dallas Stars to transition back offensively.
The Dallas Stars thinking about leads that got away in a 6-game losing streak. They haven't done that, Louis, since 1995. Lose 6 straight games in regulation. Rogers Oilers hockey from Big D. We'll be back after this.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers have 3 members of their team going to the Olympics. It is the same story on the part of Dallas, with Canada, Russia, and Finland represented. And it will be a tough task for Rask and net for Kari Lehtinen, because Tuukka Rask and Antti Niemi, the other goaltenders who will try and be the starters for Finland.
And Jamie Benn will not wear number 14 when he's in Sochi. He'll wear number 22. Chris Kunitz will wear 14. I don't think he cares.
Yeah. He'll wear any number.
Arcabello, Eberle, and Perron trying to keep the momentum going. Eberle stopped by Seguin. Here is Perron. David Perron, Justin Schultz down low. And Schultz keeps it in. Perron tied up there by Jordy Ben. Dillon, dead tired, trying to get it out. Justin Schultz, good job to keep it in. Perron behind the net. Lehtinen stops it up. Eberle from the corner as Dillon tied up with Perron. Now Dillon's lost his bucket here. Schultz with a hard shot off the stick of Jamie Benn. Eberle back to the point. Ference wrist shot through traffic. That hit Dillon. He and Perron continue to jaw. Now Dillon is going to head to the bench, and so will David Perron.
A pretty good cross-check there, too, on David Perron afterwards. They got tangled on the hash marks there after Perron keeps the puck in. Good job by Justin Schultz to hold his ground first. And then they continued that battle for a while.
Hall with the puck now. Antoine Roussel with Petrie down low. Marincin comes over and stops Garbett from getting away. Gagne fires it in. Lehtinen stops it. He'll play it himself around the boards. Off the glass to Roussel. Antoine Roussel finds Daly. Daly off the boards looking for Eakin. Too far for him. He was checked by Marincin. Petrie with it now. Nugent Hopkins on the far side. Under 10 minutes left to go in regulation time. Hall to Gagne. Gagne with Petrie going to the front of the net. Deflects it right on to Lehtinen, and Lehtinen makes the glove save as Jeff Petrie drives the net. 4-2 the score here at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. And we welcome those viewers who've been watching the Calgary Flames and the Nashville Predators. We're here at American Airlines Center in Dallas. 9:18 to go in the third period. The Stars with a 4-2 lead. They scored 14 seconds into the game, and it was the ex-Oiler Eric Cole who got it started. The teams traded goals in the second period, and that's where we stand right now. 29-27, the shots in favor of the Oilers, but they need some offense. Each team has won a game in the other team's building in this series. It is the final of 3 meetings. Nail Yakupov. Smith behind the net. Out in front, Boyd Gordon trying to get to it, and it's sent down the ice, and this one will come back in to the Dallas end. Our game review is brought to you by The Brick. Nobody beats The Brick for furniture, mattresses, appliances, and big screen TVs.
Well, as you mentioned, Kevin, 14 seconds into the first period, Eric Cole scored a goal for Dallas to get things started. They carried that over into the second with a quick 1-10 in. Schultz and Gagne have the goals for Edmonton, and for the Dallas Stars looking for their first win in 7 games, have lost 6 straight in regulation.
Haven't done that since 1995 as Fiddler blocked that shot. That stung Vern Fiddler. Nugent Hopkins lost it. Chiasson content just to get that puck out. Hall moving in against Alex Chiasson. Hall lost it. Gonchar picks it up. Sergei Gonchar will give it to Kevin Connauton. Connauton fires it around the boards, and that hook took a hop off the stanchion and ended up hitting the side of the net. Gagne. Pass intercepted by Peverley. Nichushkin in the corner. He gets tied up, fights off the check, centering pass. Opportunity in front for Peverley, denied. As Horcoff lets the shot go from the high slot. Horcoff with it now. John Horcoff dumps it in. That line's going to change up. Bryzgalov will leave it for the captain, Andrew Ference. David Perron moving in. Perron trying to get a shot away, but he couldn't do it as Cole got the stick in the way, and then Cole sent him into the corner.
David Perron being his pesky self once again all over this third period here. And here's the chance again as Nichushkin gets in aggressively on the forecheck. Quick little shot to the net, and Bryzgalov bobbles the rebound. And you can see Peverley right there trying to pounce on that bouncing puck. Good job there by Nugent Hopkins, the centerman, coming back, taking away that chance in front.
The Oilers 3-7 their last 10 trips here to Dallas, but they have won the last 2 meetings between these two teams here at the AAC. Beloff to Eberle. Eberle. Quick shot there by Arcabello. Steered aside by Kari Lehtinen. Jordy Ben lays it out. Arcabello back to Beloff. Beloff off the boards for Eberle. Eberle will backhand it in. Perron gives chase. Jordy Ben gets there first. Dillon will give it right back to the older Ben. Seguin up the middle. Snaps a shot. Easy save for Ilya Bryzgalov. Nick Schultz on the far side races over against Gonchar. Gonchar keeps it in for Seguin. Centering pass. Good defensive play there, but here's Connaughton with a shot. And again a block by the Oilers. Arcabello gets it out to center. Want to get a change in. Marincin going to bring it in himself. He gets stopped by Eakin. Gonchar takes a look, takes a hit from Yakupov out in front for Smith. He gets knocked down by Kevin Connaughton. Petrie fakes the shot. Now he's in deep, plays it out in front. Yakupov against Roussel. Yakupov gets knocked down. Garbutt brings it in with Eakin. Cody Eakin on the far side. He'll play it behind the net. Ryan Garbutt is there. Garbutt waits, plays it out in front. Whitney couldn't get a shot away, but Garbutt's got it back again. Garbutt throws it towards the cage, and there is Bryzgalov to steer it to Yakupov. He bounces it off the boards to Ryan Smith. Smith to Ryan Jones. He's got Petrie on the rush, throws a long shot in, juggled by Lehtinen. Now it's Ference back into his own zone. 6 minutes left to go in regulation time. Taylor Hall, 2 assists on the night for him. Schultz couldn't get a shot away. Garbutt's got it. Garbutt for Fiddler, too far. Ference on the intercept, right back in for Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins in a battle with Daly. Goligoski plays it off the board. Schultz can't keep it in. Chases Ference back into his own zone. Bryzgalov comes out to help him out. Andrew Ference, pass for Schultz, didn't work. Kept in by Dillon. Dillon around the boards. Alex Chason waiting for it there. Given a bump by Ference. Hall roughed up by Fiddler. Vern Fiddler. Back to the point it comes. Ben with a shot, and that one missed. Dillon on the near side, can't keep it in. An opportunity now for Hall and Gagne. Taylor Hall to Gagne. Sam Gagne to Hall. Oh, what a play by Dillon. And reaching out is Kari Lehtinen. The Oilers trying to cut the lead to just 1. Sam Gagne denied by Brendan Dillon.
As we look at Sam Gagne in the bench here, looking up at a replay of the shift he just had as he drove the net. What a sweet little pass here, little sauce by Taylor Hall right to Sam Gagne, who tries to go back to Taylor Hall, but Brendan Dillon denies him there. A little earlier on, it was Seguin's stick that comes up and clips Anton Beloff. No call on the play, and for Beloff, TD Fours becomes the cut man on the bench, patching him up.
5:13 to go in the third period. The Oilers down by 2. They are out shooting the Stars 31-29. Arcabello lines up against Ben. Arcabello wins that draw back to Petrie. Petrie, quick shot there by Perron. Seguin flips it high and gets it out to center. Jordy Ben, Jamie Ben has to wait. Perron to Arcabello. Arcabello backhands it in. He'll chase it himself. Jordy Ben gets there first, takes a hit from Arcabello. Arcabello fourth among rookie forwards in hits, closing in on 75.
That was a nice little chip in charge by Arcobello. Gets in aggressively, and a little bit of a spread out gap for Edmonton as that puck softly came around the boards and was handled easily along the boards by Cole to get it out. Nobody really there to pinch down and prevent him from making a play.
As you expect with the score the way it is, the top line is going to see a ton of time for the Oilers. They're back out there as Eakin backhands it in. Garbutt gets there first ahead of Andrew Ference. Garbutt back to the point. It comes for Daly. Trevor Daly. Eakin and Roussel behind the net. Now in the corner, Antoine Roussel against Justin Schultz. Cody Eakin turns, and that puck deflects off the stick of Nugent Hopkins and into the seats.
Your ride is about to get a whole bunch smoother. Hit the open road on a Can-Am Spyder Roadster from Martin Motorsports.
Dallas Eakins has seen his team score on the power play, something they haven't done against Dallas in 11 tries coming into this game. It happened in the second period. It was Sam Gagner. That made it a 4-2 game, but they need to find a couple of more goals here with under 4 minutes left to go in regulation time. Final meeting between these two teams. Each team has won a game. Each team has won a game in the other team's building. Smith to Gordon to Yakupov. Yakupov one-on-one against Gonchar. They've had a good battle all night long. Connaughton checked by Ryan Smith. He'll give it back to his D partner. Gonchar plays it off the boards and it bounces down into Oiler territory. No icing. Both teams make changes. Nick Schultz sets up shop behind the net.
That guy's harassing him behind the net.
Petrie. Around the boards it goes. Ben checked by Arcobello. Try to get it to his younger brother. And that puck is gloved ahead, and we've got a whistle. The play of the game is brought to you by Rogers, bringing fans the fastest speeds in more places. Rogers LTE.
Well, this was right out of the gates in the second period. The fourth line goes to work, or third line, if you want to call it that. Eakin is the one that starts it off in the defensive zone. Great work by Antoine Roussel on the forecheck, and what a perfect pass on the tape of Eakin, who walks in untouched to make it 4-1. 1:10 into the second period.
The Oilers have taken a timeout with 3 minutes exactly remaining. And Louis, we have not seen a lot of Ales Hemsky in this third period. Ales Hemsky in the last couple of games has been paying the price. A couple of big hits before they started this road trip, and a couple of hits in that game against Chicago, and an ankle injury, and he hasn't played in the third period.
Yeah, he took that shot a little earlier in the game off the ankle, and you knew it stung him. He went to the bench. He was getting looked at, but obviously it was stinging him a little bit more. Has been getting bumped around the last couple of games. Was flying early in this game.
Rogers Oilers hockey's back in 48 hours with stop 3 on the road trip as Edmonton visits the Minnesota Wild on Thursday night. It all gets underway at 5:30 p.m. Mountain with our pregame show on Sportsnet West from St. Paul. The Calgary Flames will be back home that night as they host the Winnipeg Jets. And make note, the 7 p.m. Mountain telecast is on our Sportsnet Flames channel.
Ilya Bryzgalov is on the net. Hall with a shot. Letting the save. The rebound picked up by Jamie Benn. He'll send it down the ice, and it's going to be icing. We have seen this from Dallas Eakins before.
Real early pull of the goalie, and why not? Down 4-2. Haven't generated a whole lot of shots in this third period. Only 6 to be exact. And the first one blocked by Goligoski off the stick of Nugent Hopkins, and Taylor Hall with a real good look-see here. And what a reaction save by Kari Lehtinen to get across. Didn't get all of it, but enough to deny Hall of scoring the goal.
Heverly won that draw. Schultz battles to keep it in, but Daly has it now, and he'll send it slowly down the ice. Nugent Hopkins to Eberle. Eberle to Gagner. Sweeps it in. Racing after it is Eberle. Eberle gets there first. Cole can't keep it in. Nugent Hopkins covering on the point. Goligoski on the near side. He will flip that puck down into Oiler territory. It gets by David Perron. Perron now will lead the rush for the Oilers. 2:13 left. Perron flips it in, races after it himself. Dillon gets there first, plays it around the boards, can't get it by Gagne. Paul in there as well. Paul takes a look, cross-ice pass. Eberle with it now. Eberle back to the point. Nugent Hopkins fires a blast, then rips wide. Justin Schultz to Hall. Hall, another shot, but Eberle stopped by Lettman. Ben to Dillon. He gets checked by Hall. Nugent Hopkins at the point to Eberle in his skates, gets it down. Gagne with a chance. Perron sees it slide just wide. Nugent Hopkins against Cole. Eric Cole with an empty net. He's got Roussel with him. His backhand goes wide. Roussel gets there first. His attempt stopped by Justin Schultz. Another chance is blocked. The Oilers with 1:25 left to go. Eberle to Arcabello. Mark Arcabello back to Eberle. Bumped heavily there by Alex Goligoski.
I think that was interference on Eberle there.
Tipped into the bench by Ray Whitney. 1:12 on the clock.
Eberle's had a little bit of a battle going with Goligoski in this game as well. And right here, as he chips it by him, it looked like he kind of hit him before he got to the puck. So impedes him getting there. And Eberle looked like he got shaken up a little bit on the play. Was out there for a long time. Was out of gas. And as he goes towards this puck right there, that's an interference call in my books. Nowhere near the puck, hadn't got there yet. Takes him out before he even gets to it. And no call on the play. And obviously Dallas Eakins isn't too happy with it either.
He remains on the bench. Ales Hemsky not on the bench for the Oilers, but the Oilers have 6 attackers on the ice. 1:12 remaining, down by 2. Their best face-off man is Boyd Gordon. A scramble draw, won by the Oilers. Yakupov back to Petrie at the point. He'll give it to Gagne. Pass didn't work. Eberle, he can't get it out. Less than a minute to go. Petrie back into his own zone. The Oilers in desperation mode. Gagne eases it in. Goligoski around the boards for Daly. Whitney on the far side. He'll chop at it. Get the puck just out. Gagne off the boards. The Oilers want to try and make a change. Perron can't hop back on. Daly fires it towards the empty net and he scores. Trevor Daly, without a goal in his last 25 games coming in, will get the empty netter and seal this hockey game.
Strong game defensively for Daly tonight as well. Has been all over it, and here just kind of one hops it in. Good battle level here by the Stars. Outnumbered men on the ice, but you wouldn't know it the way they find these loose pucks. And it's Trevor Daly that puts it down into the open net. Little one hop and seals the deal. 5-2.
The 30th shot for the Dallas Stars ends up the one that will snap a 6-game losing streak for them. 1921, the time of the goal for Trevor Daly. He missed 14 games with a lower body injury, came back into the lineup January the 6th. Garbutt and Eakin get the assists. The Dallas Stars win their first game in 2014, and they do it by handing the Oilers their 5th straight loss on the road.